The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
The Badger Hockey Digest, presented by Charter Communications.
Hi, welcome to the Badger Hockey Digest, brought to you by Charter. I'm Brian Posick, the radio voice of Wisconsin hockey, joined by head coach Mike Eaves. A thrilling weekend in Omaha, Nebraska last weekend as the Badgers swept the Mavericks and all of a sudden find themselves 4 points out of first place in the WCHA with 2 games remaining. And it just so happens that league-leading St. Cloud State is at the Dane County Coliseum this weekend to take on the Badgers. And Mike, first off, the Omaha series, you had told me during the week that you expected an entertaining series. Yeah. Certainly Friday night was an entertaining game for fans, a 4-3 win for the Badgers. They score the game winner with about 2 minutes left from Brendan Woods. That was a pretty good hockey game, wasn't it?
Well, it was up and down, back and forth, and the fact is it was a good game to be on NBC Sports, just because of the fact that it's out there being viewed by people, and actually got some texts from people saying congrats on the win, and it was a fun game to watch. But we did a lot of good things that game, and probably shouldn't have been as close as it was, because 5-on-5 we only gave up 10 scoring chances all game, and they scored a couple power play goals to make it a tight game. But every time that they scored, we were able to respond, and we had talked about before the game this term pushback. And when you play in athletics, there's always flow of momentum. And when the other team has a momentum, you have to have that within your repertoire as a group to push back, to stop that momentum and try to get some of that momentum on your side. And we did a very good job of that on Friday night.
Yeah, and then Saturday night, I expected Omaha to push back. It's senior night at their home rink. Their starting goaltender was a senior and an assistant captain, but your club scores 3 minutes in like it did on Friday night and just kept adding to it, a 6-goal outburst to season high.
Well, that was it was an unusual night for us. We don't find ourselves in that position very often. We joked about as a staff not knowing how to coach on the bench in the third period, being up by 5 goals because we scored right away. Yeah. But it was an interesting night because in looking at the video, the thing that was very evident in video is our pace and our ability to take away time and space and get on them quickly. And that's what helped create some goals, and we made some nice plays. And for the first time in a long time, we converted on the scoring chances that we had. In retrospect, I wish we had to save some of those over that second game against Penn State. But it was fun for the kids because there's a certain confidence that you get when you're successful during a game and scoring goals.
Yeah, also 2 power play goals on Saturday night. That adds some confidence, doesn't it?
Well, actually, if you want to be picky, it should have been 3. I know when we were in Pittsburgh with Kevin Constantine, there was he used to keep our own power play stats. And if a guy was just getting out of the box and wasn't in the play yet, he counted that as a power play goal. So that happened on Saturday night. So it was good. Again, there within lies the confidence that gives a group that they know they're on a little bit of a roll and can go out there and produce.
Yeah, the one you're talking about, Michael Mersch power play, it was a line rush.
Yes.
And actually you had some nice line rushes producing offense, and that's fun hockey to watch.
It is. You go up and down the ice. We call it fire wagon hockey, and sometimes it just happens spontaneously in the game where you get a 3-on-2, they come back 3-on-2, then there's a 2-on-1, then there's a 4-on-2. What gives coaches gray hairs because you want to have a little more control, but it is fun hockey to watch.
Yeah, it is. And Michael Mersch, by the way, has 20 goals. He's only the 5th Badger since Danny Heatley's days back in 2001 to pot 20 goals. Robbie Earl did it twice, Blake Jeffrey, Michael Davies. Michael Mersch scoring 20 goals in a season in this day and age in college hockey, not easy to do.
It's not easy to do. And matter of fact, he was a little shocked. He was standing in the shower, and I called him out of the shower, and he was a little, what's going on here? We shook his hand and congratulated him. It's a good achievement. He's been a good leader that way, and now some of his teammates are rallying around him to get some more goals for us.
A lot at stake this weekend at the Dane County Coliseum. The Badgers take on St. Cloud State. More on that series coming up after this from Charter.
Who needs this modern world? I can live just fine out here without the road rage and boy bands. Of course, I might miss my Charter HD with football on ESPN and Walking Dead on AMC. Just ESPN, AMC, Shark Week on Discovery HD, and Comedy Central HD. But that's it. Except for HBO HD.
Charter now has over 100 HD channels and more brilliant HD shows on demand than ever. Get Charter HD for only $29.99 a month when you bundle.
Before we get to the Badgers in St. Cloud State, I wanted to bring up the play of Mark Zangerle, your centerman, junior centerman. He and his line mates, Tyler Barnes and Nick Kurdilis, last 6 games, 8 goals and 24 points. They are producing kind of like we all thought they would here eventually, right?
Yes, it was something that even last summer we had scratched on paper and thought it might be good. And I think finally things have come to a point where, everybody's healthy. There's no more suspensions. They've got some chemistry going, and I think they're actually playing their best hockey. I know that we as a staff feel like Tyler Barnes is playing at another level. He's moving his feet. He's playing with energy. And that goes the same for Mark Zangerle. Mark is a guy that likes to slow the play down because he has vision, but he needs to play with pace. He needs to move his feet, and he's doing that more. He's growing as a player. So I think, all those factors are cluing in now where it's helping them play their best hockey for us.
And it certainly bodes well here for the stretch run. Wisconsin and St. Cloud State. Here's the St. Cloud team trying to win the McNaughton Cup for the first time in school history. At home, split with Michigan Tech last weekend, got bombarded on Saturday night, losing 5-1. Nevertheless, it's a team that's very talented and experienced too, isn't it?
Well, they're an older team. You look at the birth dates of most of their kids. They're an older team. They're a veteran team. They have size. They play hard. They've got an athletic goaltender. They're legitimate. There's a reason why they're there. But I think that is watching video and the way we're playing. Brian, we talk about it all the time. You can look on paper and say, well, this team should win over this team, but you have to play the game. And they're coming into Wisconsin. They're going into an environment that they don't know. We know a little bit more about it, but it's going to be a fun weekend. I think there's a lot at stake. And I think that people that are going to get out to the Coliseum this weekend are really going to see some excellent college hockey.
Yeah. Now, as far as St. Cloud, here's a team that has, 60 more power play chances than it gives up. This is a team that doesn't take a lot of penalties, and their power play is very good.
Yeah, it is. And it's something that I think we have to realize. I think our power play is going to have to be ready to go right from the snap. It's interesting in hockey, they talk about in football with the offense getting into a rhythm. And I think the more power plays you get a rhythm. You get a feel for what the defense is doing, and you get a little practice at what you want to do. But when you play a team that doesn't take a lot of penalties, you're going to have to bypass that factor, and you're going to have to be ready to go.
Yeah. How much fun is this, though? 6 points separates first place from 7th place in the WCHA, 4 points from 2nd place to 7th place. I mean, obviously, Badger fans want Wisconsin to finish as high as possible and get home ice for the first round of the playoffs, but you could also finish 7th. I mean, that's what makes this so intriguing this weekend. And on top of it, the nostalgia of going back to the Dane County Coliseum where the Badgers played from 1967 to 1998. This should be a lot of fun.
Well, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? This is the last year of the WCHA, and it's coming down the last weekend. And we get to play in the barn that started the modern era, so to speak, for Badger hockey. And I think that I really think it's going to be a fun atmosphere. If we can get people to come out and see a great college weekend and kind of go back to the future, if you will, but with the beer garden being open and the banners being down and the band playing by the glass, that I think it's going to be something special and something I think people would want to see.
Yeah, we welcome you out to the Dane County Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center. You can get your tickets at the Coliseum box office or at Ticketmaster.com. Both games start at 7 o'clock Friday and Saturday night. They're also on TV, Fox Sports Wisconsin, also on the Badger Sports Radio Network and BadgerSportsNetwork.com. Mike, good luck. Enjoy the weekend. That's Badgers coach Mike Eaves. I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.